Welcome back. You are tuned in to Traders Nation. My pleasure to have with us here today book author Henry Dubroff. He co-authored Battling Big Box. Henry, welcome to Traders Nation. How are you today?
Great.
Good, good. Henry, now listen, is it true that innovation comes from small entrepreneurial companies that will help our economy thrive in today's turbulent times?
You know, I can guarantee you that at least half the jobs we're going to grow when this thing comes around are going to come from small companies.
Yeah. Now, you know, here's the thing now, and you're absolutely right, because my opinion is that small business really is the backbone of the working in this country. So, having said that, can we expect any type of tax incentives or things of that nature as far as the government's concerned to stimulate our economy?
You know, I think you're going to see a few things, but not the kind of massive billion-dollar handout the big banks have gotten.
Right.
I think the best thing we could hope for would be something like, and this is my favorite idea, is build it and we won't tax it. In other words, if you can build a small business, first $5 million of capital you can create is exempt from capital gains, and then you can pass it on to your kids, your employees, and again, on the first $5 million, you don't pay much tax.
Right.
But other than that, you know, this is going to be a roll up your sleeves, put in some sweat equity, and build the best company you can build kind of time.
Right. Now, isn't that true? Because you roll your sleeves up. We have to be self-reliant as a people. We can't really rely on government, let's face it. You know this as well as I do, I'm sure, Henry, is that government just does not run a good business, which is really against what small business is all about.
I think the best thing we can hope for is for government to get out of the way a little bit on the smaller company. Mm-hmm. You know, we've seen a lot of creeping regulation come along.
Yeah.
And if they do healthcare well, then that might take a big burden off of the back of the small business owner.
Sure.
My company, which has 12 people, it takes a lot of what I call mental bandwidth just to do the healthcare thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's why in the last surveys, NFIB and some of the real pro-business groups were kind of tilting toward some sort of new way of doing healthcare. Also, we need better educated workers.
Yeah. Better training?
Better training and people that can act on their own. Because in a small business, if somebody doesn't work out, they got to go. You can't put them in a corner office and say, have a nice life.
Yeah. You're not helping them out.
You can't afford that.
Yeah, you're not helping them out. You're not helping the company. So employees really have to be able to think on their feet. Agreed?
Employees have to be able to think on their feet, and they have to be able to accomplish a task and have a common view. Build the company brand. Everything you do, every customer you touch, every email you send. You know, we don't always agree 100% with our customers. Things don't always work perfectly in any company.
Yeah.
But your employees have to have the owner's vision and an idea of how to build the brand.
Yeah. All right. Now, listen, is it fair to say that Battling Big Box will empower the next generation of eBays, Googles, by giving entrepreneurs the tools they really need to compete and win?
This is a no BS field guide to building a successful niche company.
Right. All right. And in what way? Give us a good example of that.
One thing we focus on a lot is getting hold of cash, getting control of cash in your business.
Yeah.
Knowing what seasons are busy, what seasons are slow, and having a plan to kind of be like a mudfish, you know, hunker down in the slow times.
Right.
And then make your money in the big times.
Sure.
Another thing we really focus on is the culture of sales in a company.
Yeah.
You know, we have a small company, and we do business with a lot of big companies.
Right.
But if I'm talking to the CEO and my publisher who sells advertising is talking to the marketing manager, and my accountant is talking to the accounts payable person, we're probably going to get along. We may get a lot of business from a little company.
Sure.
But everybody's got to be talking to the right people.
Right. Isn't that key, though? Isn't that absolutely key that not only do you have to talk to the right people, but what you say is absolutely as important, too?
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
And, you don't always have to be selling,
right?
But you always have to be building that brand.
And the brand is key to any business, because once you've got that brand, then it's recognizable in many different facets. Could be quality, could be customer service, etc. And that's where we get back to the training. You've got to have good people in place, especially if they're going to be out front and they're going to be in contact with your clients or customers.
That's absolutely true. And the other thing is, a lot of business owners spend 24/7 nose to the grindstone. And one thing we say is, you got to find some time, whether it's in the shower, jogging on the beach, hiking in the mountains, fishing, to unplug a little bit and work on the vision. Where am I taking the company? Where am I going next?
Well, you're absolutely true on that, because sometimes owners, presidents, CEOs, managing directors, etc., whoever it may be, they get too close to the picture, don't they? They need to really step back and see what kind of painting that they've gotten, so they know they're on the right direction. Would you agree with that?
I absolutely agree. And also to then understand what the potential of the company is.
Sure. All right. Now, the next economic cycle, I mean, we're in the middle of it right now. The tremendous challenges. I mean, there's no doubt about that the challenges are going to be big and huge. But doesn't this also offer opportunities for the small business?
It offers opportunities for the small business. Also, if you have an effective team, you may be able to grow your company in very unique ways. You may be offered opportunities to buy much larger companies that you never thought would be for sale.
Sure.
You may be able to expand your franchise. The one thing you don't ever realize is how weak your competition is. One industry that I'm very interested in is in the audio space.
Yeah.
What's going to happen with Circuit City and CompUSA gone?
Right.
I'll bet you there's a lot of really good niche hi-fi companies. They've kind of been in a little bit of a niche, but they understand the pricing.
Sure.
They can deliver services. Some of those little neighborhood stores could have a heck of an opportunity here.
Right.
We see it in our industry. We're a local financial news publisher.
Yeah.
And our daily newspapers, they've just walked away from business news.
Yeah, you know those small niche.
We're excited about what we've got ahead of us.
Well, see, that's where the opportunity comes in, because you know those guys, those smaller guys with Circuit City and so forth, going out. I mean, they're bailed up. I drove through one just over the weekend, and they're gone. So you know they're licking their chops, Henry. You know,
and you may be able to hire employees, pick off some good employees at a reasonable price.
Yeah. Now, on the opposite side of success in a small business, there are some failures. Why do they fail? Is there the odds are stacked against them? Is it poor planning? Is it poor execution? I mean, or is it all the above? What is it that some of these small businesses they just absolutely fail in the end? Because not everybody has what it takes to run a business. They work 8-hour days. That's nothing. That's like a lunch. That's like lunch, okay, for the entrepreneur. There's 12, 14, 16-hour days, and people get into that, and they don't realize that.
Well, I think there's three real things that we see in businesses that fail.
Right.
And two of them we can't help. One is just a lack of a market opportunity.
Okay.
If there isn't a market opportunity in what your business is developing into, it can't succeed.
Well, that falls under poor planning.
And we can't. And another thing that we can help a little bit with, but the management's got to be able to attract and keep people around.
That's critical. Keep people is critical. Now, we are out of time, Henry. Where can we find a copy of Battling Big Box today? Henry, where can we find a copy of Battling Big Box?
You can find it at Amazon.com.
Yeah.
You can find it at bookstores everywhere. It's published by Career Press, $15.99. It's a trade paperback.
All right, Henry, thanks for your time today. We'll be right back.
Thanks.